Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today for this joint webinar between Sense About Science and Cochrane. So it's funny story how this came about, actually. So Anna and I met in London a couple of months ago. We were doing building renovations here in my office, and then we for temporarily relocated to another building not far away. And then I don't know how, but we noticed that we were both working in the same building. So we thought, okay, let's have a meeting, let's get a coffee. So then we met up and we came to realize that we both lead one of our early career networks for each of our institutions. And we thought, oh, I like the work that you do, you like the work that I do. It would be interesting for us to set up a webinar so that we can share the missions and the projects and also the early career networks that each of our institutions have for those that are interested, and hopefully, yeah, share ideas, share opportunities to get involved, and potentially down the line work together in some capacity. I know Sense About Science, one of our trustees, was heavily involved when Cochrane was first founded. His name is um, Paul. The last name is slipping from my mind, but I will find it. So I know Sense About Science, we've been around for about 20 years, but we do have some deep and long connections with Cochrane. So now we're excited to get our early career networks to meet each other in some capacity, even though it's online. So I'm gonna kick off right now, and unless you want to say any few introductory words.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And I didn't know you were gonna start with that, but I will just say that that's how collaboration starts, and to not to be afraid to send an email or to like meet with someone because you never know what's gonna come up from that.
Yeah, no, very true. It's all about right place, right time sometimes, and seizing the opportunities as they arise. So I'm gonna kick off introducing Sense About Science, what we do, and then also share opportunities to get involved, um, so on. So I should have said I'm Camilla Arvidsson, and I am the Senior Programs Officer at Sense About Science. Now, for those of us who haven't heard of Sense About Science before, we are a campaigning charity. We've been around since 2002. We're based in London in the United Kingdom, and we campaign for sound science and evidence in public life. We do this by equipping the public with the confidence and ability to ask good questions about the evidence behind topics that matter to them. And we help experts be able to answer these questions that we ultimately hope the public will feel confident to ask. And by experts, we mean researchers at all career stages, but we also mean policymakers, media professionals, whoever feels that they are equipped to answer a question posed by the public. And our ultimate aim is to ensure that the use of evidence in public life is open and importantly understandable. And we believe that half of the battle of achieving this aim of evidence being open and understandable is by getting researchers, the main body of individuals who are acquiring the evidence, to engage in communication efforts. As the programs officer at Sense About Science, the main element of my job is just that. It's engaging with researchers at all career levels, everywhere from undergrad, master's, PhD to senior professors, and supporting them to feel confident to be able to communicate all the great work that they're doing and sharing the new evidence that they have uncovered. And we want them to feel confident and be able to engage with others effectively. And so how do we do this? What does the day-to-day of my job and some of the things that goes on at Sense About Science, what does that look like? Well, we're a small team here at Sense About Science. We're about 15 full-time employees, but we still do a lot of work. But instead of going through all the different projects that we do a lot of policy engagement, public engagement. I'm just going to focus on two key activities that I primarily work on and which are most relevant for researchers. So the first one, and this is just a snapshot of our homepage. You can see that our slogan is because evidence matters. So we're all about evidence, being open and transparent again. But back to what the two key projects and work that Inspire Science does that I'll focus on this brief introduction is, first of all, our Voice of Young Science Network. And as the name suggests, this is our early career researcher network. And then also one of our flagship events called Evidence Week in the UK Parliament, which is happening next week, actually. But first, let me introduce our Voice of Young Science Network, which is what first led to Anna. I think it was Anna who reached out to me primarily. So Voice of Young Science, or as we like to call it, Voice, is our growing international community of early career researchers who are inspired and motivated to take responsibility for the public conversation about science and evidence. What we mean by early career researcher, it's very open, but it usually includes PhD students and postdocs. But if someone is a master's student or an undergrad and they're doing research and they feel that they are an early career researcher, uh, we welcome all. So there's no strict guideline for who's part of this network or not. And right now, our Voice Young Science Network is about 6,000 people strong. This has been building on since About Science was first founded in 2002. So about a year after we founded this network. And what does this network do? Well, we provide training, we provide resources and other ongoing opportunities, again, with the aim of building the confidence and skills of these young researchers to engage in public conversations about science and evidence. And although it's called Voice of Young Science, we don't just focus on the hardcore science subjects such as biology or chemistry or medicines. We include all researchers, that includes social scientists. If you think you're doing good research in any area of work and you're producing good evidence, definitely we have those members in our network. And why do we have this focus on early career researchers? This is because we believe that if we reach out to them, if we meet them at the start of their careers and we inspire them and share with them our resources and all that we've learned in the work that we do, then they will take on what they've learned now and address it and implement it for the rest of their careers. And as I said, we've been running this program for the last 20 years, and I first joined the team and started working on it about a year and a half ago. And it's definitely one of my highlights of my job is traveling around the country and also abroad. I've been to Poland and the Netherlands and meeting all these early career researchers from around the world. So the network, the program, what does it include exactly? I mentioned that we provide training. So the main element of our voice program are our workshops, and they're called Standing Up for Science. These are all-day workshops. We deliver them both in person and online, and they're completely free for any early career researcher. So I will be sharing links where you can sign up. And essentially in these workshops, either in person or online, early career researchers get to hear directly from researchers further along in their careers about their experiences, both good and bad, of working with the media and policy worlds. And then we invite media and policy professionals to come and kind of tell their side of the stories, introduce how their worlds work. They bust common misconceptions about how media and policy making works specifically and what the interaction is between their worlds and researchers. And then the day ends with a practical session in which we discuss the issues where early career researchers think the public discussion around science or evidence is going wrong, or it's very difficult, it's controversial in some sense, it's charged, and we look at what makes these conversations like that and what modes of communication or what tools would be helpful to make those conversations easier. So sometimes it can be, how do I have a productive conversation about vaccines or climate change, or even something of how do I explain uncertainty, which is something that is so prevalent in research, but if a member of the public is not involved in research, their perception of uncertainty may be very different. So we cover all types of those topics where researchers feel that it's a little bit more challenging to discuss and talk about with those that aren't researchers, don't have the same level of experience or with those topics. And these workshops are also a great opportunity for early career researchers to meet each other. Because they're free, we get students from a number of institutions coming together or tuning in online from, as I mentioned, different fields, not just the sciences. Again, maybe we should consider changing our name from Standing Up for Science to Standing Up for Research. But again, scientists, social scientists. So they come and they get to meet each other and share their worries or what they're optimistic about. So that's also another benefit of these trainings. And obviously the ultimate aim is that any ECR who attends one of these, any early career researcher who attends one of these workshops will leave feeling inspired and confident that the work that they're doing is really valuable, and the public and media professionals and policy professionals need to hear about it. And these are some ways that you can get started, or some ways maybe you won't get started now because you still might be at the start of your PhD career, but once you feel that you're ready and you have something to share, some piece of evidence, you kind of know the first steps that you should take. So those are our workshops. So probably the main element of our Voice of Young Science program. And we just launched our 2025 program. Because we're based in the UK, most of our in-person workshops are also based in the UK. So this year we'll be traveling to Manchester, Norwich. We always do one in London and Edinburgh. So if you're based around any of these areas, I really encourage you to apply. The workshops are free, but we also offer 2 online workshops. And we try to get, for those online workshops, we try to get panelists who are also based more internationally. So even if you're not based in the UK, we hope that what you would learn and hear about would be applicable regardless of where you are in the world. And you can sign up for these workshops by going to our web pages. So if you just Google Sense About Science, click on the first thing that comes up, it will lead you to our Voice of Young Science network. But equally, you can scan the QR code and sign up to our mailings. And there we send out, I write them bi-weekly newsletters. So once every 2 weeks, where I include updates of upcoming events such as these workshops, but also other volunteering opportunities with other projects of ours or campaigns, which I will talk about in a little bit. And also once a month, we also share a brand new resource to help you explain a tricky or a difficult topic. For example, as you see on the screen, how do I talk about the difference between absolute and relative risk or uncertainty? And sometimes you do videos like top 3 tips for getting your research into the media, etc. So a little plug for you to sign up to our mailings if you are not a part of it yet. That was the Voice of Young Science program. Now, the other main activity that I want to share today is one of our flagship events called Evidence Week. Now, this photo, if you're not from the UK, you might not recognize it, but this is up at the front. They're pointing the finger. That's our current Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. This is him in Westminster debating with our old Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and other members of Parliament. So Evidence Week, as you may have guessed from the name and the photo, this is our flagship event where we bring together parliamentarians, British parliamentarians, researchers, and the public from around the UK to discuss how evidence is used to make policy decisions. So how this works is that for 1 week during the year, and coincidentally, this is kicking off on Monday, about 24 different research teams from around the country, from leading institutions, from universities, and other research institutions are going to come down to London. They're going to go to Westminster, which is our House of Parliament, and they're going to deliver quick fire little speeches, or what we call policy briefings, directly to members of parliament about their latest insights and evidence into a topic that is relevant for them. So, for example, we have researchers who are coming and talking about the effects of underwater light pollution, and others who are going to come and talk about how do we make aviation more green, how do we make aircrafts be fully electric, or someone else is going to come and talk about how do we implement AI, artificial intelligence, safely into schools. So as you can, and they will deliver these policy briefings to members of parliament, lords in the UK, and also other staff who work in government. As you can imagine, this is a very big event. There are over 650 members of parliament in the UK. So in the lead up to this, the whole team, myself included, we've been very busy getting everything ready. But really the stars of this week are all the different researchers who've been working, some for years, on a certain research question, and they've gathered some really good evidence, and now they get the opportunity to share that evidence directly with policymakers and hopefully make a difference when those policymakers are voting to make important decisions that will impact everyone. So this has been a huge part of my job here at Sense About Science, is working with these researchers and getting them prepared to come. Now, the last project I would like to explain as part of Sense About Science work is as I mentioned earlier, we are a campaigning charity, and you might be thinking, well, she hasn't mentioned anything about campaigns yet. So are they really a campaigning charity? The answer is yes. So alongside our campaigns, we also do these other projects, such as Evidence Week and our workshops, but we do have a big campaigning element. And just one campaign I would like to highlight, which is our biggest campaign right now, is called our Evidence Transparency Campaign. So together with a few institutions here in the UK, for example, the Institute for Government, we have developed an evidence transparency framework, which I took some screenshots and added on the screen. And the framework works to quickly and easily assess the use of evidence across the full range of government policymaking. And why did we launch this? We did this because the public, but also other officials and experts, we believe that they should be able to see the evidence behind policy decisions. So one thing that Sense About Science really champions is transparency, the transparency of evidence. Can we see why a decision was made? Can we see what influenced that decision to be made? Or can we see what evidence they considered when making that decision? Without transparency, it's really difficult to understand the motivation for why a policy decision was made. It's difficult to then find out if you agree with it, or for you to check if it's working if you don't know the evidence behind it. So our evidence transparency campaign, periodically we select upcoming suggested government bills. So government will propose a new bill, for example, let's change something about, let's change, for example, if we put fluoride in water or not. And we're going to propose that we cease to put fluoride in water. What this framework then is able to do, it reads the bill, reads all the supporting evidence that's present in the bill, and then depending on what we find, we then give a ranking from 0 to 3 of how transparent and how clear the evidence behind that decision is. So do they have evidence that actually the public doesn't need the benefits of having fluoride in water? That's what we're aiming to see. Is that evidence there? How easy is it for me to find it? And how do we do this? How do we rate these policies? Well, we need volunteers. We need volunteers who are willing to help us read these bills and the evidence that they have sourced. So that's one way that you can get involved. And this is just one of our campaigns. We're only able to do this campaign to rate upcoming bills through the support that we get from the members of the public, from our supporters. And again, this is just another screenshot of a bill that we actually recently rated last year from the Department for Transport. It was on a passenger railway service. So the different types of bills that we will rate can be related to any topic, anywhere from transport to a health-related topic, education, etc. We're really just focusing on the evidence behind the bill rather than the the content of the bill itself. It's more about the evidence. So, in summary, this is a very quick snapshot into who we are here at Sense About Science, what our mission is, and the different projects that we do specifically with researchers and young researchers. And this is a QR code to our main newsletter. So we have two newsletters that go out from us. One is about all projects related to Sense About Science. So that would include Evidence Week and the campaign that I mentioned. And we often have calls for volunteers. And then the other newsletter is the one that I write, which is specifically tailored for young researchers, where I will share details about our workshops, these brand new resources that I mentioned. And then periodically, I will also mention some things about Evidence Week or one of our campaigns if there is scope and space for young researchers to participate. So main newsletter, check out our website, and yeah, hopefully see some of you in one of our upcoming workshops. Thank you.
Thank you, Camila. This was amazing. I'm gonna start sharing my screen in order to present, but any questions that you have, you can leave them at the Q&A or here in the chat, and then we will answer them at the end. Right now, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Perfect. So I'm gonna give a quick introduction. Well, I'm Ana Pizarro. I'm based in Colombia, and I work for the Central Executive Team, and I'm also part of the Early Career Professionals Network in Cochrane. I'm gonna start with a quick introduction to Cochrane and how to get involved, and then we'll talk about our Early Career Professionals Network. So Cochrane, well, we are a global network of researchers, patients, and other health professionals who produce and publish systematic reviews of health evidence. We have been over for 30 years, and our methods sets us the gold standard, and we are around 190 countries. We have a lot of members and supporters all over the globe. We are a global community. And there are so many ways that you can join Cochrane. So all the links that I have here on my slides, I'm going to share them with you in the chat so you can join them. But there are ways to participate, connect, and learn in Cochrane. We also have our Cochrane membership that anyone can create a free Cochrane account to become a Cochrane supporter. And then through your volunteering contributions, you gain membership points, and then you become a Cochrane member. You can have both of these badges to publish them on social media or use them on your signatures. And the Cochrane membership gives you recognition because it's a valuable addition to your career portfolio. Also representation because our members are the core of our community and help to shape the future of the organization. And also personal development because you can contribute to Cochrane as an opportunity to develop new skills and creating community. We have different groups. We have review groups, methods groups, fields, geographic groups, thematic groups, and evidence synthesis units. And we also have three networks. The Early Career Professionals Network, that is the one I'm going to focus on today. And we also have the Consumer Network, that is for patients, carers, and members of the public, and the Methods Network for people interested in the Cochrane methodology. For learning, we do offer evidence essentials, Cochrane interactive learning, author support, and notes translation. And we also have some live webinars in method support and specialist topics. We recently had one on the use of AI in evidence synthesis, and we have so many in the upcoming months. There are also ways to participate as translator and membership. And as volunteering, we also have Students for Best Evidence, the Consumer Network. So this is like a summary of everything that you can do. Also, knowledge translation activities, working on social media. And this is one of our biggest platforms, Cochrane Crowd, where you become a Cochrane citizen scientist. You join our volunteer effort to help categorize and summarize evidence, so we can make better healthcare decisions. It is mainly about screening challenges to help out some reviews, and also categorize randomized clinical trials. So this is a great way to start if you're new to Cochrane and health evidence. These are some of our high-level metrics. So we have more than 30K people sign up, with more than 3.2 million records screened, and more than 200 tasks. So what is in it for you? You can directly contribute to evidence-based healthcare. You will be learning by doing, and also you will get rewarded because of this membership acknowledgement, and in reviews, you get certificates and badges. And this is another platform, which is a little bit more advanced, is Cochrane Engage. So you can volunteer and contribute your skills, and also ask for others to help you. These are some of the um, things that you can expect: join author teams, to mentor, take surveys, participate in studies, peer review, also do some internships, such as the International Mobility Program, translate, and like help with methods. And now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna start with how to engage with the Cochrane Early Career Professionals Network. So this is a diverse global network of different volunteers, health professionals that we're committed to advancing evidence-based healthcare worldwide. And our members come from different backgrounds and cultures. We are researchers, health science students, language translators, and some other volunteers. And all of us are committed and united to support global healthcare initiatives. This started back in 2019 with the Cochrane Study Under 30 initiative, and since then, the network was established. And now it does play a crucial role in promoting professional development, international networking, collaboration, leadership within the Cochrane community, and also ensuring that the voices of us are heard, and our power is maximized. This is our mission: to provide the members the opportunity to improve knowledge, skills, and expertise, providing this platform of international networking, and also to focus on the development of leadership skills for us in the Cochrane community, and encourage activities with other and elder professionals in shaping the mission and vision of the Cochrane community. We have some objectives. We have international networking. This is, well, we exchange knowledge, experiences, and ideas, and promote interaction between the members. Also, representing trainees, we do facilitate close collaboration within the Cochrane community, and this allows the active involvement of the early career professional community. Also, active patient involvement. We do work along with the Cochrane Consumer Network, to explore collaboration with younger patients in projects and research, and also knowledge translation, because we do investigate ways in which Cochrane reviews, and how we can maximize the dissemination of their results. We do have some present initiatives with other organizations, such as the Campbell Collaboration, JBI, and the Cochrane US Mentoring Program. This is our network. You can see here that we are all over the globe. We have a steering group led by a chair, and we support the community. We have around 15 active members, and over the past 5 years, we've had around 50. And these are our main activities that are open for everyone. So, journal clubs, our Cochrane podcast. We have representation in governance and management boards within Cochrane. We also have a newsletter, lecture series, educational materials. We do partner with the Cochrane Consumer Network, as I mentioned, global presence projects. We do meet online, and we do collaborative research. We attend to international conference and promote the use of Cochrane platforms. So these are some pictures of past journal clubs and webinars, and we also have one in Spanish in the past. And this is a screenshot of two papers that we published in the past year. Well, one is a preprint and another paper about us. So the one in Cochrane Evidence Synthesis and Methods kind of summarizes everything that we do, and the other is a meta-research study that we presented, uh, and it was led by one of our members. This is a picture of a meeting in London in the Colloquium 2023. And this is another picture at the Global Evidence Summit, and then our meeting with Camilla. We also have online meetups and our newsletter that I'm going to send a link. Um, and yeah, that's all. I know that it was a lot of information, but the only social network that we have at the moment is X, but we also support and work with the Cochrane.org accounts. So that was all. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I don't know if you have any questions. Oh, I just saw that Camila has shared some of the links. I'm gonna do the same right now so you can uh, start joining Cochrane.
Great. I didn't know you did journal clubs as well, and they have so many members. We are very small in comparison, but great that we're joining forces. Really
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you, Anna.
I'm gonna share some links that this is one from Cochrane Crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that we opened the applications to be part of the early career professionals once a year. Right now it's closed, but in the meantime, you can also like join all the activities that you have, and also reach out if you have any idea or anything that you would like to promote in our social media. We also, besides activities from Cochrane, we do also promote resources and training events, opportunities. So anything that can be relevant to early career researchers.
Great. Does anyone have any questions about any of our initiatives? Or I know, as Anna said, it's a lot of information from both of us. So you might just need some time to digest it all and check out the links. But
Yeah, we can also leave our email so you can reach us out at any point if
it's
you
good.
have any
Yeah.
questions in the future. And the recording will also be shared.
Great.
Yeah, feel free to open your. Oh, yeah, I can see there are some in the Q&A. It's just that it was like somewhere else. I think
Oh,
this
there's
is,
two.
yeah, this is for you. It says, thank you for
Oh,
your
yes.
presentation. How can I register for the upcoming workshops?
Yes, I will share the link for the workshops. So we open applications about 6 weeks before the date of each workshop. So right now, the only one that is open is the one that's taking place in Manchester. So the first online one, in case you're not based in the UK, which will take place in June, we'll open applications at the start of May. We'll, if you sign up to our newsletter, we will remind and send out information about when an application opens.
Yeah, I did sign up a while ago, and it's great because like you receive a lot of information, and that it's not too overwhelming, but it's good to keep you updated.
Good.
I don't see any more questions. Um,
I think people are keen to log off their laptops on a Friday afternoon. No, I am.
yeah, no, it's
Or at
morning
least
for
for
me,
me,
right?
it's an
But for you,
afternoon.
yeah, for you, it's almost free. But thank you everyone for joining. If there are no more questions, we really appreciate you uh, joining us, and we hope to hear from you soon. Um,
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and see you and connect with you online, email, newsletter, LinkedIn, whatever.
Yes,
Right.
I feel like everyone is happy right now. So thank you, and you have like 20 more minutes for in your afternoon right now. Bye. Thank you so much.